Now let's talk to our nervous systems. Your nervous system is all about protection, and there are multiple layers of activation coming from structures within our brain and our body that engage when we are under threat or when we perceive that we're under threat. And in my practice, I often talk about the nervous system as a soldier in the jungle who cleans their gun every day because no one told them that the war is over. And another way to look at this is that your nervous system loves you and it wants to protect you so much that it would rather protect you too much and for too long than not enough. And so all of us are carrying around layers of protection for things that happened a long time ago. Little things, big things, depends on the person. So this exercise is about helping the nervous system to realize that the past is past. And there are two exercises that I call engaging the off buttons for nervous system activation. And the first one I'll show you now is just using your conscious brain. So we all know that it's March of 2020, and that's an obvious fact. It's March of 2020, which means we lived through all the time it took us to get here. And so that very simple fact, we want to transmit that to the protective parts of our nervous system that are so engaged in protection that they may not know that the war is over. So your conscious brain, let's think of it as at the front of your head, knows that it's March of 2020. So settle in and let's just send that message that it's March of 2020 and send it backwards to the back of your head, to your brain stem, which is the bottom of your brain where it becomes ultimately your spinal cord. And just think of sending that message back. It's March of 2020, and therefore we have lived through everything that ever happened to our bodies and our brains up until this moment. Breathe into that. And as the brainstem begins to get that message, the brainstem is all about protection and about those basic functions that we don't have to think about. So breathe into your brainstem and then begin to send the message that it's March of 2020 all the way down your spinal cord, which runs from your brainstem all the way down to the tip of your tailbone. It's only one fiber when it gets there, but that's an electrical connection from your brain all the way to the tip of your tailbone. Breathe into that. And as you breathe into that, you can begin to send the message outward amongst your more than 35 miles of nerves coming from your spinal cord and from your brain. And think about sending that message out to your fingers and your toes, to your organs, to the front of your body, to the back of your body, to every cell, that everything that has ever happened to you up until this present moment, you already lived through. And take your time with that message and breathe into it. And you may feel like you want to shake. You want to take a deeper breath. And in taking a deeper breath, you start to stimulate your vagus nerve, which we'll talk about later, which is another off button for that nervous system protection. Your vagus is like the antidote to fight or flight. And again, we'll get back to that another time. For now, just breathe in to that message. You're safe. You're here in the present moment and you're safe from everything else you ever had to go through. The reason why it's more important than ever to get this message to your nervous system is that all that activation is expensive in terms of fuel. When we are hypervigilant, we're using up a lot of energy and a lot of our attention. So the more we offload past stress and past layers of protection, the more resilient we are, the more present we can be, the more creative and attentive to what needs to happen in the here and now. This is something I recommend doing daily. It's also something that you can do right in the moment. If you stub your toe or you have a terrible day, it's as simple as just reminding your nervous system, okay, it's over. Now we can get down to dealing with whatever is here and now. But what just happened, or what happened 10 years ago, or what happened 25 years ago, or what happened however long ago, that's over. And that means we don't have to respond to it anymore.